Hi everybody, it's been a very long time since I've made my last video with the 30 language, my programming language in Scratch. So right now I was just testing a bit of the language and I found out some bugs that some mistakes I got in the last video I made of this project. I made this error verification system and it was buggy because these errors with if else. I got all the errors in if other than else, and all I got to do was to get all of the errors from if to the else tab, like I did in all of these. Also, what I did find out is that when you press save, it will add the save in the editor, and you won't be able to do compile ever again if you save. So first what I'm gonna do is bring the save in the compiler tab. Let me find firstly where the save is. I think it's here. Yeah, so firstly we delete all of compiler and we add this value to compiler. So now when you save the project, it will all appear in here. What? No. And all I have to do is copy this whole thing and then paste that in here. Also, the save and load doesn't work that much because I can't copy the whole thing. I have to add that there's also another thing I would like to add before starting everything, but I forgot what that was. Let me see. So now the add line, oh, it was the edit. So if I will add a delete button, so if the answer is equal to 0, oh no, not this one, not this one. So if this answer is equal to 0, then it will just delete that line right there from editor. So now let's say we want to delete line number 4. We'll type firstly 4 in here and then replace it with 0. It will delete it completely, and now it's basically nothing. Good. So for this episode I've wanted to add if statements. Some comments suggested that from I think 1 or 2 years ago, but I haven't had time to manage this project. So firstly let's say we describe the if statement, how I want it to look. I'm gonna go with marker and maybe zoom in, zoom out. So let's see, if, no, not like this, maybe use a stronger color with bigger saturation so you are able to see it. So if, let's say, when you use an if statement, all you do is check if the value in this parenthesis is true. So if bool is true, as the execute under. If bool is false, just pass the if. So this Boolean value, bool, is a variable. This variable can have the values, and now we can add the Boolean values that are true or false. Or an operation. I would like to change this to operation. Between two values. So now let's define an operation. Operations. We have and, or, smaller, bigger, and equal. These are the logical operations. Logical operators. Let's think of a syntax. Syntax we want for. So this, what I described up here, is how the if statements work in reality, and what we want to implement in our logical language is that, let me turn this to 0. Is that we want a syntax. We want to know how the if statement would look in our language. So let's say a syntax. If, and maybe I include a space and not a parenthesis this time. Or maybe, I don't know. So if we include a tag, it will be a Boolean value. So variable, and then 2 points, after which we say our code, and then let me see, end of the if, I don't know, and if and if. Yeah, that's fine, I guess. So this is for the variable, and now if we have an operation, we simply go with if and then operation. After that, maybe a space, no, a 2 points, then code, and then an if. That's fine, I guess. So we have to add the if and if tag. So this is the verify errors. This is the input. And now add this because it was at last. And let me think. So letter 1 is I. Then add another and EF at letter 2, and then let's say a tag. Alright, so we don't actually need to contain these parentheses because we don't have parentheses. So for the if statement we only have 2 points. And this time error, let's add a name, 2 points, TP. Now I'm gonna go at error and this item, let's see, errors. There is no identifier for syntax if. Alright, so add here join line with item 7 of errors. So now we should get an error, at least an error. So we do if tag simply. In line 4 there are no brackets for syntax, etc. Edit line 4 with 0 to delete it. For now we are good. Then let's add the same syntax but without the tag. And it will only have the same error, so if now we add a line with if and then without anything else, and compile, there is no 2 points identifier for syntax, I don't know. Again, delete that last line. Anyways, now let's continue with the if syntax code. So firstly, first letter of string is I, the second one is F, and the third one is a tag. So firstly we set G to 5, because if we add if tag space a variable then 2 points, we have G1, G2, G3, G4, it will take the blank, and then if we add G5, G6, G7, it will take the variable. So repeat until it's 2 points. Alright, change. So if it contains output, so if the new I provided for the variable, in this case var, it's an actual variable, it will do the code in here. If it's not, it will display this error. So I'll make a new variable called enable if, and at start I will want to set the enable if to false. So what's this variable gonna do is gonna tell our program that the if statement is true or not, I don't know. So let's see, so values, we set value to item of values, item tag of output in variables of values. It will take the item 1, so the item of the variable var from variables list, and it will return the value of it from the values list. Because we added tag in here, the variable must be a Boolean type. This means it contains an if or for a true or false value. So if the value is true, enable if to true. Another if else inside of here, first add false in here, set it to false, even though it's by default false, but who knows. And if it's not true or it's not false, it means it's not a Boolean, so we make another error. I believe, yeah, the line is equal to I. Another error called not bool. Yeah, it's an okay, not right name. So this time we are gonna add only the item. Now it's gonna be 8. And we are gonna be adding an error. The variable provided is not a boolean, is not of boolean type. And here not bool. I'm gonna close this and maybe enable if. Now modify. Oh, it's nothing to modify. I'm obligated now to delete it. So if tag var and 2 points. Now if I compile it, it will, in line 4 there are no brackets for syntax. What do you mean? I don't know what. So it displayed me another error. Saying that there are no brackets. Let me see. Maybe it's because of this line. So, oh, this line right here, and add in here letter 2 of string. Okay. So repeat until it finds 2 points. I don't know about this. I sincerely don't know about why it's doing what's it doing. Let me see. So we got points here. Let's see, maybe no, not this. So let me see. Letter 2. Maybe it's because of this line. Yes, so the variable provided is not of Boolean type, and you can see it right here. Maybe do something like this, so the variables come first and then the values. Oh, so finish. Maybe edit the line number 2 and we set it to value true. See what happens. So if we compile, it will enable if right there. Finish. If we set the variable to false, it will disable the if statement. I'll now reset that line and it will again display this error. I don't mind it anyways. So now we must continue this code right here. What we want to add here is firstly add this line. Let me see. Print hello. It will compile. Yes, and then and if like I showed you in that little whiteboard. So yeah, the line 6, the command isn't recognized because I haven't added it yet. So let's now add the if in here. What I have to add is in here and n. N I and F. This line doesn't need any of these. It only needs this thing right here, and now it should be recognized. Yeah, of course it provides this error. So now we add a code in which we find the if that we want, so that if we have the enable if set to false, we are set to ignore all the lines from the if statement until the if. So new message, get if. So now I'm gonna make a new variable, if line, and we are gonna set the if line to I, and we are gonna make a new variable called if line, and it will be set when we find it. So let me see, results, there's nothing in here, so delete all of results. It will be a good temporary list, and I'm gonna set, let me see, a new variable II for another index. So set II to 0, no, 1, no, if line, then we're gonna repeat until it will be equal to nif the item II of editor, it will be equal to nif, to find the first nif, and it will change II by 1. So when it will find this, it will set the nif line to II, so if it is false, we will get firstly the nif, and let me see, so run index in number I, when we compile, we run syntax in number I, we change I by 1. So after this line we need to change the I number by nif line -1. Why -1? Because it needs to ignore all the lines until nif line, but firstly it will do nif line minus f line and then -1, so it will change by 2, so it will become 2, the line here, and that's all, because after this line the I number will be changed to by 1, so it will become 7. If we add another line here, for example print false, no, iteration is false as an example, and we set the value to false, so we edit line 2 and we edit it to var equals to false. So now if I compile this, it firstly prints the value, and of course it ignores this print right here. Alright, so firstly also get the nif line here, because why not, it will help it get better, and we firstly set I to 1. Now to if line plus 1, and we do a repeat until I is equal to an if line. It will firstly change I by 1. That will be at the final thing. Get this string variable set at line This is harder than I thought it would be. Much harder. So all the syntax in here can be maybe get this up there. And do an if else in here maybe, or an if. So if enable if is true, now maybe repeat until this gets false. I don't know how to do this, so maybe duplicate this, and instead of I will change everything to I. Oh, this stays the same. And it will be I it's equal to an if line it will set the string to thank God it doesn't use that. Set the string to item I of editor, set string firstly, and everywhere where I appears I need to change it from I to I. and without these lines, and yeah, without these lines, and get up somewhere and change II by 1. This will get deleted, and here it will be a new broadcast. Execute if body and down here where it says true, I'll broadcast the executive body, and then change I by this, just like on there, and maybe it will work the first try. So I will edit this to true. Hopefully there are no mistakes, and I can let me delete line 7 and also delete line 3. So we have this variable selection. Maybe let's delete everything. So add line, we will make a new line. Firstly, add a new variable, then we print enter an age, 2 points. After that we are gonna create a variable, enter a statement, then input this variable. It will be only true or false. Then if tag, because it's a Boolean variable, 2 points, then add, let's say if this is true, then add the statement was, let's say 2 lines, true, and don't forget the if. So we will firstly enter false, it will not execute anything. If we enter true, the statement was true, it executed completely right. For the next video, I will make the operators and operations. I hope I will post it tomorrow. I hope this video was great and entertaining, and I hope I have time to finish it. Bye guys, have a nice day.